Welcome back to Star Signs. Next sign we're doing is Virgo. It's August 23rd to September 22nd. The Virgo, known as the Virgin, is promiscuous. Promiscuous. Virgos are also known as the whores of the zodiac. Whenever I say that to Virgos, they say, yeah, that's right. Any other sign says, oh no. It's hot in here. Virgos are promiscuous, but they have a prudish exterior, also very sexual oriented, but they can have an immense ability to supplement this sexual energy. They can redirect it, thank God. Virgos like to have everything in its place, everything organized. Meticulousness is a trait of theirs. I do not think they're as nitpicky as they might think, though. They're not nearly as bad as the Capricorn, but you always feel embarrassed about the Virgo, as if they're cleaning up around you and dusting you off. That's why they often have cracked hands. They're constantly washing. Virgos are very good with people, but they have to be absolutely sure of what they're doing. They need to be on top of everything, but they do need prodding, and they'll cover their tracks well in a positive way. When upset, Virgos are the... Did I skip an entire page? Just didn't. Okay, no, I didn't. Okay. When upset, Virgos are the slow, smoldering type. When in repose, they look unhappy or pensive. That's why a Virgo gets very aggravated, because people are always asking them, are you mad? They are retentive in just about all areas with a file cabinet mind, especially when they have been hurt. Virgos are obsessive about colors in the house. They want the colors to match or complement well. And they have an obsession about counting. It is a very strange obsession. If they start counting 1, 2, 3, many of them will want to go all the way up to 100. Virgos feel that they must finish everything. If they start making a dress, they have to finish it that night. And it doesn't matter if the sewing machine aggravates everybody. They feel you ought to know that they must get it done. They're also note takers. They carry lists constantly. A soft heart, which is paradoxical of this sign, is another mark of Virgos. They will let their children walk all over them. They have little baby footprints all over their body, but no one else walks over them. And be careful of what you say around a Virgo. They can get upset over some off-the-cuff remark. That's how sensitive they are. The Virgo will probably, I know it's not your fault, but you hurt me anyway. So don't say unflattering things to a Virgo, such as, your nose does not fit your face. A Virgo is also multifaceted, like the Gemini, and this leads them to need many people around them. Both of the male and the female Virgo can be faithful to 2 or 3 at one time. Yes, it's true, and you cannot tell Virgos that they don't love all 3 of those people, because they do with all their hearts. They love totally. You will notice for some strange reason that Virgos seem to run in groups of 3. It's almost like they need 3 people to give energy to and to receive energy from. Virgos walk with their heads first and on the balls of their feet. They have very defined laughs, usually high-pitched and somewhat hysterical, and they cry easily when pleased or provoked. They have a tremendous vanity streak, which stems from insecurity. Make fun of them and you have an enemy for life. Compliment them and you have a friend for life. You cannot just flatter them, but give an honest assessment, they will accept it. They are very close-knit with their family, even more so than a Cancer. If there is any kind of dissension in the family, the Virgo will handle it. Some would say, let the Libra handle it, but they're too busy balancing everybody. A Libra will drive everybody crazy, saying, I see your side, and I also see your side. Whereas the Virgo will say, you're wrong, she's right, that's the end of it. Virgos are loyal supporters and are more apt to be in the internal working of an organization rather than being the front runners. Virgos are like Cancers. While allegiances is pledge, it's for life. They're more apt to keep their friends within a group made up of members than to have many outside acquaintances. Virgos have been known to be called fair weather friends, but that's not the case. Usually the first half of the Virgo's life is very introverted, and then all of a sudden they become extroverts. You can see a Virgo one day, and in 6 months you won't know this person. All of a sudden, this individual has decided to be completely outgoing. Virgos usually don't get going until around age 40. This is because they don't feel particularly wise until then. They're very slow to develop their self-image. Virgos are permissive parents, but they're not consistent. A child will get by with something one time, and the next time the Virgo parent will not allow it. So they're inconsistent. Their nervous system is highly tuned to, so they have a tendency after a long period of patience with a kid to let out a shrill, high-pitched scream. They can be a moth or some bug, and you'll hear the Virgo shriek, but they do have a tendency to allow their children to get by with things that other signs will simply not allow. Virgo has a temper, but is not caustic. They just get angry. The Libra individual will usually hit more below the belt than the Virgo, because Libra comes from an emotional standpoint, while the Virgo comes in intellectually. Air signs do a good job of getting angry, but boy, if you're ever hit really hard by a fire sign, then you know it. The air signs come from the emotional standpoint, whereas the earth signs come from a very practical one, but fire signs go right to the heart. Virgos are good talkers, and they usually relate strongly to their past. They have a tendency to look backward. Virgos have a tendency to say what they think. Oh, when I was fat like you, or is that your daughter? And it is your sister. They also have a habit of constantly putting their foot in their mouth. If you give a Virgo a compliment, their eyes fill up as though they want to cry. You don't know if you said something right or wrong. Anything romantic or sentimental sets them off. Also, negative and positive vibrations give them chills. Corny or bad or good, whatever, they are always getting the chills. It's hard for a Virgo to get started on things, and change is not to their advantage. They love well-ordered things, especially trips and new clothes. They also love to travel, and they can be ready on a moment's notice if they want to go. The paradox is that although they love travel and beautiful things, they will not go out of their way to buy or arrange anything. It's better they feel if someone arranges it for them rather than forging ahead themselves. One thing about a Virgo, if they like their house a certain way, it stays that way. 500 years later, you can go back and it's clean and neat, but the stereo is still sitting right in the same place. You can always tell a Virgo place because when you take a picture off the wall, there will be a white paint underneath with green walls around it. They will just paint around their pictures because the picture looks good there, and they don't ever want to move it. Virgos are private learners. They are not geared much for formal training. They love the mystical, and they're not natural-born skeptics, which does not fit with most earth signs. You don't tend to hear a Virgo say, "I don't believe." Once they accept the truth, then it is for life. You never have to hassle a Virgo with skepticism. Virgos are the nicest people I ever have in the reading room. They will say, "Yes, I understand," and that's it. They love things for how they're presented, so they don't complicate faith or even parapsychology. They just accept it, and they have marvelous retentive memories. I've never seen a Virgo yet who did not have an estrangement with their mother. They may fight to overcome it, but it's always there. When they make an almost undying effort to form a partnership relationship with their mother, in doing so they alienate their father. They do have a tremendous closeness with brothers and sisters, even closer than with their mother and father. So in a way, they're good because they do not build up a symbiotic relationship with their parents. The male Virgo is much more ambitious than the female counterpart, but they're very selective about their people around them. Unfortunately, the male Virgo, more than the female Virgo, could be classified as a fair-weather friend. This is because he will like you only for what you can do for him. Physical characteristics. Virgos usually have ticklish stomachs. They are prone to stomach upsets and over-acidity. Their bone structure tends toward being small and petite. Virgos are not hypochondriacs, and they only care about that their body functions right. They are not ones to go to a doctor unless the situation really becomes unbearable. Virgos are absolute maniacs about their hair and complexion. They are so fanatical about their hair that you want to shave them. They are not blessed to be born with perfect endowed features. And that's it for Virgo. Next, I will see you next month with Libra, and we're almost done. I think Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and I think Capricorn. Yeah. So 4 more.